Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Everything here that is shown is airsoft and nothing is real. However, this is actually going to be a real steel part that I'm going to be putting onto this replica. I need to tighten that up. Basically, guys, this is going to be the next installment in my KS-1 kind of constant upgrade and change build. This is the VFC KS-1. Knights Armament based kind of AR platform. It's the Royal Marines one. If you saw in the last video, I actually ended up switching over the Optic setup that I have now to this Sig Sauer Tango MSR with an acro with this PTS Unity tactical mount. What I actually had another video on before was choosing the actual foregrip for this. I like this BCM CAG grip. I think it's really good. It seems to work well. I think it suits the look of it quite well. But actually in that video, I had someone who commented and said, hey, maybe you should check out the RailScales KARVE-P. So I use it on all of my replicas. I think it would look really good on that. So straight away, knowing me, I went and ordered one and I was like, right, I'm going to basically try it out. It looks pretty cool. I think hopefully it could look kind of cool on this. We're going to see. But I've got that in this package. So I'm going to unbox that. We're going to, install it, so you guys can see what that looks like. You can let me know if you prefer the BCM or this Carve. Other thing I'm going to do in this video, which shouldn't take too long, is I'm actually going to mount this acro further forward. So where this is, this side mount here can actually either be on the middle and the rear, or it can be on the front and the rear. And when I have it up, it works really well, and I can definitely see the acro very clearly. But what I do kind of realize on this LPVO is I can use this kind of like a red dot. And so it's really good for medium to long ranges. Obviously, I've got the like 1:6 zoom with this throw arm here. But what I do kind of want to do is have this more like a kind of like SMG shotgun sight where it's as far forward on the replica as possible. So for fast acquisition, I can just kind of see it here. And I don't know if it's going to work better, if it's going to look better, but I'm just going to test it out and just see what it's like. I don't think, actually, we may have clearance issues. I've just looked at that and I'm like, actually, no, I think we'll be okay. We may have some clearance issues. I'm just thinking with this adjustment cap on there. If you look directly there, it may touch. So we'll work that out and we'll kind of look at it as we do it. But what we're going to start off with is an unboxing of this. Now it's a real steel thing. I think about $25, maybe $20. So it's not expensive. RailScales is a company that I've got stuff from before, but actually for only my like real stuff and not for my replicas or airsoft stuff. And what I've actually got from them are the actual RailScales, so covers that go onto the M-Lock rails, and they work really well. They're great. I've decided not to like bulk this out anymore. Plus it's actually got this like dimpling on the barrel, which I kind of like looking at. So I've decided just to kind of keep that as it is. They've actually given me some little extras here. So it looks like we've got a RailScales little sticker. We'll stick that down there now. These stickers basically stay on for about 2 days and then they rub off. So I feel like instead of just putting it to one side and forgetting about it, let's just stick it on. We can hope that this thing stays on there, but we'll expect it won't. Okay, so that is a sticker they gave me. I think this is going to be the invoice, so I'm going to look at this privately. Yep, so that's the invoice. It just said they gave me a TC card, a promo sticker, and a torque or a hex long key. So that's going to be this that they've given me, which is kind of nice to have. I don't have as many that are this size, like that actual length, so that's good. This is a gratitude card. Thank you for your purchase. We genuinely appreciate each and every order. At RailScales, we strive to not only meet but exceed your expectations and delivers the highest quality products and innovative US-made products, quality in use. And they've got actual signatures from the owners and a lifetime warranty on the back. So that's kind of really nice. I like that a lot. This is a fitment guide for the actual RailScales. It looks like, is this for the torque? It's basically giving you like torque. This is properly informative. They're giving you like the torque values to like use on a Torx wrench, and then like kind of showing you how to align this in terms of M-lock, not having it sit slight above. It needs to sit flush like that. So that's kind of a nice thing to have. Hopefully I won't mess that up, but you never know. And then this is the actual product. So it's their KARVE-P. It's kind of like the BCM, but it's just smaller. And so it kind of gives you that hook where it's going to allow my hand to go on. Well, let's get it out of here and look at it, because in terms of size, like the BCM CAG grip is small compared to like a vertical foregrip. I actually think the color of this is going to suit better. Okay, so they've given me an M-lock. It's only got one M-lock attachment. It doesn't have two screws that go through it like the BCM does. It's plastic. Yeah. I actually thought it was metal when I ordered it, which doesn't make any difference at all, but I just thought that was the case. But it's basically just like a little finger hook or a hand stop that you can kind of like hook your finger into. I just don't know if it's going to be too small for what I'm looking for, because if you look at the size of it, it's considerably smaller. However, I don't know. Let's try it out and let's see kind of what it's like. I'm going to put it in the same-ish location. I think the color of it suits this far better. So it is going to look a lot slicker in that way. So that's definitely worth, because everyone knows looking cool is a lot better than actually, you know, having a cool functioning replica. So that's what we're going to go with. So it's giving me the torque screw for that. I'm going to use my Mr. Tono. Where's Mr. Tono gone? Hello, Mr. Tono. Oh, he's over here. Here's Mr. Tono. And we're going to get him out and do, I think, this size. Yep. Oh, and that popped off. Probably the easiest I've ever popped an M-lock off. So then this is going to go through this area here. They've given it to us separately. So there's a separate M-lock nut. It's actually like a kind of silvery color. Obviously it's going to be inside the rail, so it doesn't matter, but it's an interesting, it's different color there. And then I had that about here. So I think what we're going to end up doing, we either go either side of it there. Let me just kind of feel out what I like on this. I think maybe slightly further forward. Either go in this rail here like that, or we go slightly further forward, which I think maybe is what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to go a bit further forward. Yeah, I do like this actually. I have to say, like, it's just very, very comfortable in like the kind of hooks your hand in. Let's get the torque screw out. I don't know why they've kind of decided to give you a long one. It's not like you have to kind of get it into like a difficult position. I think long's better than short. I would always probably pick long over short, but it's going to give you more leverage or leverage, which is one thing, I suppose. That is there. That's actually not in position. I was thinking that was in position there, but it's not. It's kind of slightly off to a kill slant there. Let me just make sure that is going to get lined up. Okay. Not doing a very good job of this. Okay, so that's there. That's in position now. I just need to tighten this guy up. Pull down on him. Then screw this in closer. That's now in position there. Right, so that is going to be what that is like there. And I do think I like that design more. It's definitely a lot more subtle. You've kind of got that hook angle there where I can kind of put 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger. It's just kind of giving me like a little gap where I can kind of lock my hand as I need to. So I could even just kind of like put your front finger on it, put your second finger. I know, I like it. So we're going to try this one out for now. I might stick the BCM on something else. I may even put that further forward, you know. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put it 1 further forward. And we're going to test it there. I'm kind of leaning this on the top of my mount, which isn't ideal. To be honest, it is easier than leaning it on the original setup we had, as that was a acro on top of the actual LPVO. Okay, so we're going to go in here. That's going to turn side on. Pull up on it. We're just going to tighten that in. And that is in nicely. Give it a little bit more of a tighten. Okay. And yeah, I think that's the way to go. So that is going to be what that is like there, guys. And I think I can just kind of like grip it and have enough here that it just gives me enough to hold on to. This handrail on the KS-1 is like, it's amazing. It's just so nice to hold. It's beautiful looking. So I think this will give me that extra bit of angle that I want without having to stick something big on it. So I'll let you know, I'll keep you updated on how that one goes. But right now, what we need to do is switch this over. So I'll put a link, as I said, guys, to this, but it's the KARVE-P with a K from RailScales. They make some really good products generally. So, and actually their torque screw fits perfectly into this PTS Unity mount, which is ideal. So we'll go with that. We'll go with this. I'm going to take off these little ones in the middle. Oh, actually, it does the big ones, but it doesn't do the small ones. That's kind of annoying. They've got different sizes of the torque screws for different screws on the same mount. Okay, you can see there that that is now coming loose. Right, so I'm going to take that off. We've got that, which is going to sit there. This now just needs Mr. Tono with a different hex, which like this one. Okay, I'm going to unscrew that. Unscrew that. Do a little movement, flicked it over. Okay, so that should now come away. Not quite. Okay, that now should come away. Again, not quite. Okay, now that is there. That's one there. They're both loose. Now it comes away. We're going to switch this over and put this guy at the back. So I'm just taking this screw, which is the, if you watch the last video, there are slightly shorter screws that it comes with. And those slightly shorter screws just won't be long enough to go through this side mount on here. So they give you in the actual setup 2 longer screws, which will go through this offset mount and the actual mount itself, so you can mount it on. So I just needed to switch. I couldn't just kind of move the optics mount. I actually had to take the shorter screw and put it in the rear. So you can see here now, all those screws are the same length, but these 2 are going through like a longer, so they're just longer screws on this side. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now we're going to go back and reattach this on where we had it before. was around there. That looks good. Now I need to put this plate on the back. And we're going to go with this guy and just attach these in. Is that holding on? Okay, so now that is on. That is on. That is on. I'm just going to tighten it up. One thing I was thinking actually is I don't think unless you switched the actual mount over and had it facing almost the rear, that you could have this on the left side. You could only really have this offset mount running on the right side, which for me is not an issue because I'm right-handed, but I presume some left-handed shooters would like that option to be able to mount it the other way. Let me know if you think that's right or if I'm just overthinking that. Okay, let's just do a little tighten with the Mr. Tono. Make sure that's tight. Okay. Right, so now that is what this looks like. So I've taken it from the rear and then put it on the front, and we didn't get any, like it didn't foul on the side in terms of the adjuster, but I do have a big issue here, which I think will be fine. Yeah, we're going to be okay. But that access for that minus button there to like reduce or to turn off the sight, the acro, and to like reduce the brightness of it is just reachable. And if I have gloves on, I don't think it will be. I think it's fine to be able to take the gloves off and then do that. But now if I switch from this to that, I think that's way, way better. Like, I just think where that is now is just like, if I am like going CQB and I'm going into like a room or whatever it is, having that in that location is going to be, it's going to give me enough difference from just using this LPVO to this is like a very, very like, if I am short and in here, then I've got a much, much better way of like fast target acquisition. What I'm going to do is zero this to like a very, very close range and then zero this to a bit further. And so you'll probably see me soon. I've actually just put fingerprints all over this thing. I'm like, what have I got to clean it? You'll see me soon basically using this in a CQB environment. I've kind of got the tracer situation set up kind of on this. So like you'll be able to see me use that hopefully in some gameplay where I'm using that and then flicking over if I need a bit more range to that. But this is really cool now. Because the other good thing is like people are like, oh, offset mounts, they don't really work in airsoft. That is kind of correct because where you've got your hop up, it is putting backspin on the BB. So if you've ever noticed, if you turn an airsoft gun sideways, the BB is going to spin off to the left. Like it's kind of like not working against gravity like it should do. However, with this, when it's an LPVO and it's an offset LPVO at 45 degrees, when it's a micro red dot on an offset to that kind of location on an LPVO, you're only using it in close range. Like I've got the LPVO to use if it's longer, mid to long range. So that's where the hop up's going to come into play. At close range, the hop up really doesn't like take effect. Like that initial, like, you know, first 20 meters is going to be pretty much like just the trajectory of the BB and how fast it's coming out before that backspin starts to take effect. So for me, the offset mount works well on something like this. I think if I had it just normally as an offset mount without an actual like normal optic on there, or had a different setup that kind of made me need to use this at longer ranges, I wouldn't think that was good. So, but I'm pretty impressed with this. I'll try and give you guys a little look. I think it's very, very hard for you guys to see through this and like what it is, especially with the glare from my lights. But you can see there, that's my LPVO. So that is the SIG Tango LPVO red dot illuminated there. And then if I switch over, you can see there is the acro. See that little red dot right there, the acro. So boom, switch from that over to that. So I've kind of got both bases covered. I think it looks really cool, guys. I think the The look of it generally I kind of prefer, even though, as I said in the last video, it's not now the kind of Royal Marines copy, but I want to know what you guys think. Thank you guys very much for being here. As I said, I'll put a link to the RailScales thing below. So go and check it out if you want to. There's no referral or anything like that. Just go and check out RailScales. It's a good company, very well respected. So feel very, very happy to recommend their stuff to you, even though I haven't really tested this out fully yet. So go and check them out. Thank you guys so much. See you soon. Bye-bye.